This is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is Canto 1, Chapter 18 and Text 18. Sutta Uvacha Aho Vayam Janma Brutodhyaha Sma Vruddhanuvrityapi Viloma Jataha Daushkulyamadim Vidunoti Shigram Mahattamanamadana Yogaha.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Sri Sutta Goswami said, O God, although we are born in a mixed caste, we are still promoted in birthright simply by serving and following the great who are advanced in knowledge. Even by conversing with such great souls, one can without delay cleanse oneself of all disqualifications resulting from lower births.
Text 19. Kutah punargruhanato nama tasya mahattamaikanta parayanasya yonanta shaktir bhagavanananto mahadgunatvadyamanantamahuho.
And what to say of those who are under the direction of the great devotees, chanting the holy name of the Unlimited, who has unlimited potency, the personality of Godhead, unlimited in potency and transcendental by attributes, is called Ananta, unlimited.
Text 20. Ye tavatalam nanu suchitena gunairasyamanatishāyanasya hitvetaraन् prārtayato vibhuter yasyāngrirenum jashutena bhipso.
It is now ascertained that He, the personality of Godhead, is unlimited and there is none equal to Him. Consequently, no one can speak of Him adequately. Great demigods cannot obtain the favor of the goddess of fortune even by prayers, but this very goddess renders service unto the Lord, although he is unwilling to have such service.
Text 21. Atapi yat padanakavasrishtam jagadvirinchopahrutaarhanambaha sesham punatyanyatamo mukundat ko namaloke bhagatpadartaha.
Who can be worthy of the name of the Supreme Lord but the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna? Brahmaji collected the water emanating from the nails of his feet in order to award it to Lord Shiva as a worshipful welcome. This very water, the Ganges, is purifying the whole universe, including Lord Shiva.
Text 22. Yatranuraktaha sahasaiva dhira vyapohya dehadishu sangamodam vrajanti tatparamahansyam yasminna himsopashamah swadharmaha.
Self-controlled persons who are attached to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna can all of a sudden give up the world of material attachment, including the gross body and subtle mind, and go away to attain the highest perfection of the renounced order of life, by which non-violence and renunciation are consequential.
Text 23. Aham hi prishtorya bhavadver आचक्ष आत्मवगमोऽत्र यावान् नभः पतन्त्यात्मसमं पतत्रिणा स्तता समं विष्णुगतिं विपश्चितः.
O Rishis, who are as powerfully pure as the sun, I shall try to describe to you the transcendental pastimes of Vishnu as far as my knowledge is concerned. As the birds fly in the sky as far as their capacity allows, so do the learned devotees describe the Lord as far as their realization allows.
Text 24 to 25. Ekadadanurudhyamya vicharan mrugayam vane mrugananugataः shrantaha क्षुदितः सृषितो भृशम् जलाशयमचक्षाणः प्रविवेशतमाश्रमम् ददर्श मुनिमासीनम् शान्तं मीलितलोचनम्.
Once upon a time, Maharaj Parikshit, while engaged in hunting in the forest with bow and arrows, became extremely fatigued, hungry, and thirsty while following the stags. While searching for a reservoir of water, he entered the hermitage of a well-known Shamika Rishi and saw the sage sitting silently with closed eyes.
Text 26. Pratiruddhendriya pranam मनोबुद्धिमुपारतं स्थानत्रयात् परं प्राप्तं ब्रह्मभूतमविक्रियम्.
The Muni's sense organs, breath, mind, and intelligence were all restrained from material activities, and he was situated in a trance apart from the three wakefulness, dream, and unconsciousness, having achieved a transcendental position qualitatively equal with the Supreme Absolute.
Text 27. विप्रकीर्णजटाचन्नं रौरवेणाजिनेन च विशुष्यत्तालुरुदकं तथा भूतमयाचता.
The sage in meditation was covered by the skin of a stag, and long compressed hair was scattered all over him. The king, whose palate was dry from thirst, asked him for water.
Text 28. अलब्धतृणभूम्यादिर् असम्प्राप्तर्घ्यसूनृतः अवज्ञातमिवात्मानं मन्यमानश्चुकोपः.
The king, not received by any formal welcome, by means of being offered a seat, place, water, and sweet addresses, considered himself neglected, and so thinking, he became angry.
Text 29. अभूतपूर्वः सहसा क्षुत्रुभ्यामर्दितात्मनः ब्राह्मणं प्रत्यभूत् ब्रह्मन् मत्सरो मन्युरेव च.
O Brahmanas, the circumstances having distressed him with extreme hunger and thirst, the king directed toward the sage his anger and envy, which he had never before directed towards a Brahmana.
Text 30. स तु ब्रह्मऋषेरंसे गतासु मुरगं वृषा विनिर्गच्छन्दुनुष्टोक्या निधाय पुरमागतः.
While leaving, the king, being so insulted, picked up a lifeless snake with his bow and angrily placed it on the shoulder of the sage. Then he returned to his palace.
Text 31. एष किं निभृताशेषं करणो मीलिते क्षणः मृषा समाधिराहोऽस्मिन् नु स्यात् क्षत्रबन्धुभिः.
Upon returning, he began to contemplate and argue within himself whether the sage had actually been in meditation, with senses concentrated and eyes closed, or whether he had just been feigning trance just to avoid receiving a lower Kshatriya.
Text 32. तस्य पुत्रोऽति तेजस्वी विहरन् बालकोर्बकैः राज्ञागं प्रापितं तातं श्रुत्वा तत्रेदमब्रवीत्.
Sorry, think
32 is done.
yeah, 32. Still scroll down, please.
Yeah, this one. The
Sage.
sage.
The sage had a son who was very powerful, being a Brahmana's son. While he was playing with inexperienced boys, he heard of his father's distress, which was occasioned by the king. Then and there the boy spoke as follows.
Text 33. Aho adharma palanam pivnam balibujamiva swaminyagam yaddasanam dwarapanam shunamiva.
The Brahmana's son, Shringi, said, "Oh, just look at the sins of the rulers who, like crows and watchdogs at the door, perpetrate sins against their masters, contrary to the principles governing servants."
Text 34. Brahmanyai kshatra bandurhi gruhapalo nirupitaha sakatam tad gruhe dvasaha sabandam bhoktumarhati. Hare Krishna. Hare Om Tat Sat.
The descendants of the kingly orders are definitely designated as watchdogs, and they must keep themselves at the door. On what grounds can dogs enter the house and claim to dine with the master on the same plate? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Gita Gamya Keshavi Mataji and Yashwini Sachi Mataji for the beautiful recitations. Thank you very much. I'm Sriji Kishori Devi Dasi, and I've just received a message that His Grace Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu is unable to facilitate our class tonight. So we're trying to get a facilitator who can step in and help out. So in the meantime, maybe I can recite the Mangala Charan. And if anyone in our participants list would like to facilitate the class tonight, please do. So I'm having some background noise coming. Could we mute the mics, please, Jyoti Mataji, while I recite the Mangala Charan? Thank you. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Sri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gora Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees, for joining our chat class this evening. So once again, just to apologize on behalf of Vrindavan Chandra Prabhuji, who is unable to join us this evening. And we've just got, we received a last minute notice that Prabhuji is unable to join us this evening. So we're trying to contact Mamta Mataji if she can facilitate, or if anyone in our group can facilitate tonight, it would be most appreciated. So any volunteers? Krishangi Mataji or Shailash Prabhu, are you available to facilitate our class this evening?
Hare Krishna Mataji, do you want me to share the screen again?
Hare Krishna, sorry,
Yes.
I've got service at the moment, so I'm
Yeah,
serving.
no, that's
Apologies.
fine. I understand. That's okay. So maybe we can read the purpose of today's two verses.
Hare
Which verses
Krishna.
are they? Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna Induleka Mataji.
I can try.
Yes, please, if you don't mind, it will be so
Yes,
nice.
we can read. We can read the purport, we can read translation and everything.
Yes.
And then we can take it from there.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yes, very nice. So shall we get some volunteers to read the two verses for discussion today? Jyoti Mataji, what are the two verses that we are discussing today?
Mataji is 20 to 21, 20 and 21.
20 and 21. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's look at verse number 20, please. Here we are. Okay, thank you very much. Anyone, volunteers would like to read the Sanskrit and then the translation and then the purport. I'd like 3 volunteers, please. Thank you. Who would like to start with the Sanskrit verse number 20?
I can do. Okay.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Etadvata nanu suchitena mune asamana dishayanasya divetaran parathayato vibhuti nishyangri senum jusvate nabhu pashoho.
Thank you,
Hello.
Mataji.
Okay.
Who would like to read the translation, please?
I can read, Mataji.
Yes, please. Go ahead, Mataji. Thank you.
It is, 1 second. It is ascertained that he, the personality of Godhead, is unlimited and there is none equal to him. Consequently, no one can speak of him adequately. Great demigods cannot obtain the favor of the goddess of fortune, even by prayers. But this very goodness renders service unto the Lord, although is unwilling to have such service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Puja Mataji. Anyone would like to read the purport, please?
I can
Hare
read Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. I have checked with, I couldn't get through to Mamita Mataji, so I have checked with Amogha Prabhuji. He will wait, he will just join in 5 minutes.
Who, sorry?
Amogha Prabhuji.
Oh, I see. Okay. So,
In about 5
Induleka Mataji,
It's okay.
Induleka
It's okay. Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's okay. If Amogha Prabhu wants to join, it's fine. Otherwise, I am here. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
I just said, just in 5 minutes. And he said he'll be join in 5 minutes. Actually, he has the Sangha as well, but he will join in 5 minutes.
That's fine. Thank you so much for organizing
Thank
it.
you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
So, who is reading the purport, please, for...
I can read Mataji.
Yes, please. Go ahead, please, Mataji.
Purport. The personality of Godhead or the Parameshwara Parabrahman, according to the Shruti, has nothing to do. He has no equal, nor does anyone excel him. He has unlimited potency, and his every action is carried out systematically in his natural and perfect way. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is full in himself, and he has nothing to accept from anyone else, including the great demigods like Brahma. Others ask for the favor of the goddess of fortune, and despite such prayers she declines to award such favors. But still, she renders service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although he has nothing to accept from her. The personality of Godhead in his Garbhodakshai Vishnu feature begets Brahma, the first created person in the material world, from his navel lotus stem, and not in the womb of the goddess of fortune, who is eternally engaged in his service. These are some of the instances of his complete independence and perfection. That he has nothing to do does not mean that he is impersonal. He is transcendently so full of inconceivable potencies that simply by his willing, everything is done without physical or personal endeavor. He is called, therefore, Yogeshwara, or the Lord of all mystic powers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Beautiful recitations. Okay, let's start text 21. Any volunteers for the Sanskrit verse, please?
Can I, Mataji?
Yes,
Sorry, Hare
please.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Text
Krishna Mataji.
21.
Santosh
Go ahead,
Mataji.
please.
Shri Kishore Mataji.
Yes, I think Indulekha
Mataji.
Mataji volunteered. So go ahead, please, Mataji. Thank you.
No, I'm not going to. Mataji, I just wanted to say that
Oh,
if we
sorry.
can wait, that if we can wait for Prabhuji so that he will be able to read while because he hasn't prepared at the moment. So if we can wait for him to read, or I don't know.
While waiting, we will read the
Okay,
verses.
Mataji, then he
Yeah?
can do it again. Then.
Yes,
Okay,
he can
Mataji,
do it
thank
again later. Thank
you. Yeah,
you.
okay then. Thank you. So sorry about that, Mataji. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Indulekha Mataji, please, text 21.
Hare Krishna. Text 21. Atha yat pada nakhavashritam jagat virincho paritarhanam bhava sesam punati anyatamo mukunda ko namaloke bhagavat padartha. Translation also, Mataji?
If you'd like to do the synonyms, because we have time, so you can read the synonyms as well.
Okay. Synonyms: atha, therefore, api, certainly, yet, whose, padanaka, nails of the feet, asritam, inamating, jagat, the whole universe, virincha, Brahmaji, uparhita, collected, arhana, worship, ambha, water, sa, along with, isham, Lord Shiva, punati, purified, anyatatma, who else, Mukundat, besides the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Ka, who, Nama, name, Loke, within the world, Bhagavat, Supreme Lord, Pada, position, Arthaha, worth. Translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji, you can, before you start, Amogha Prabhuji is online now. Thank you.
Okay.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
That's good. Thank you very much. Sorry, Indulekha Mataji.
No,
Sorry.
no.
Thank you
No,
for the
sorry,
lovely recitation.
just wanted to help, right? It's okay, no
Yes,
problem.
yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you very
Mataji.
much.
Thank you. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
So let's welcome Amogha Prabhu. Have you joined us?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhuji, we were just reciting the verses of text 20. We're now on text 21. Would you like to take over from text 21?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, I shall do that. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So Prabhuji, we reached the stage of the translation. We were just one Mataji was going to read the translation.
Yes,
so would you like Mataji to carry on reading the translation and the purport?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, that's fine. Yes.
Thank you. So Indulekha Mataji, would you like to read the translation, and then we'll have another volunteer for the purport, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Translation. Who can be worthy of the name of the Supreme Lord but the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna? Brahmaji collected the water emanating from the nails of his feet in order to award it to Lord Shiva as a worshipful welcome. This very water, the Ganges, is purifying the whole universe, including Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I read the purport, please?
Yes, please go ahead. Thank you.
Sorry, I was on mute. The conception of many gods in the Vedic literature by the ignorant is completely wrong. The Lord is one without a second, but he expands himself in many ways, and this is confirmed in the Vedas. Such expansions of the Lord are limitless, but some of them are the living entities. The living entities are not as powerful as the Lord's plenary expansions, and therefore there are two types of expansions. Lord Brahma is generally one of the living entities, and Lord Shiva is the medium between the Lord and the living entities. In other words, even demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who are the chief amongst all demigods, are never equal or greater than Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, and all-powerful demigods like Brahma and Shiva are engaged in the worship of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Therefore, who can be more powerful than Mukunda, Lord Krishna, to be factually called the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Ji, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are not independently powerful. They are powerful as expansions of the Supreme Lord, and all of them are engaged in the transcendental, loving service of the Lord. So also are the living entities. There are 4 sects of worshipful devotees of the Lord, and the chief amongst them are the Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, descending directly from Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Ji, respectively. Besides above mentioned 3 Sampradayas, there is the Kumara Sampradaya descending from Sanat Kumara. All of the 4 original Sampradayas are still scrumptiously engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord up to date, and they all declare the Lord Krishna, Mukunda, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and no other personality is equal to him or greater than him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Jyoti Mataji. Thank you. Beautiful recitations. So, Jyoti Mataji, could you scroll down to text 20 for Prabhuji, please? Thank you very much. So, Amogha Prabhuji, today the 2 verses that are for discussion are text 20 and text 21. And so devotees have been reading these 2 verses. So I'll hand over to you now, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So I shall share my screen, Mataji, if it is okay. Can I share my screen, Mataji?
Yeah. Jyoti Mataji, would you be able to give the hosting rights to Prabhuji, please? Hare Krishna, Jyoti Mataji. Thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. शृणुतां स्वगताः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्तोषभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृसतां नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी हरे कृष्ण ॐ नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिन् इति नमः नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Hare Krishna everyone. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity for speaking few words this evening. Okay, so we shall enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. We have already been doing all this translation, synonyms and purport. So once again, I will recite. Yetavatalam nanu suchitena गुणैरसामान्यतिशयायनस्य हित्वेरतान् प्रार्थयतो विभूति तस् यस्याङ्घ्रिरेणुं जुषुते अनभिप्सोः एतावतालं ननु सूचितेन. So here, so far unnecessary if at all, by describing nanu suchitena and gunaihi asamanya atisayanasya. Asamana is asamanya, it is unnatural. Asam immeasurable and unnatural. Asamya anati sayanasya, of one who is unexcelled. Who is unexcelled. Hitva itaram prabdhayato vibhuti, leaving aside others. Prabdhayato vibhuti, of those who ask for vibhuti, favor of the goddess of fortune. Yasyangrirenum jushite anabipsoho. Yasyangrirenum jushate, one whose feet dust jushate serves anabipsoho, of one who is unwilling. Of one who is unwilling. So translation: it is now ascertained that he, the personality of Godhead, is unlimited and there is none equal to him. Consequently, no one can speak of him adequately. Great demigods cannot obtain the favor of the goddess of fortune, even by prayers. But this very goddess renders service unto the Lord, although he is unwilling to have such service. So this is very beautiful verse. So Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, she is always serving the lotus feet of the Lord. So in the Vaikuntha, she is always sitting at the lotus feet of Krishna. Shri Rupini, Shri Rupini Urgaya Padayoho, Karoti Manam Bahuda Vibhuti Prenkam Sitaya Kusuma Guranagaihi, Vigiyamana Prekarma Gayati. So she sits at the lotus feet of Krishna. So in the Vaikuntha planet, at Narayana's lotus feet, Shri Rupini Yatra Urgaya Padayoho, she is always singing the glories of the Lord, sitting at there. Urgaya Padayoho Karoti Manu Bahuda Vibhudibihi, glorifying different kinds of pastimes of the Lord. Prenkam Sitaya Kusumaguranu Vigiyamana Prekarma Gayati. Prenkam Sitaya Kusumaguranu. So there, even though the bumblebees are also, they are coming to, let me just share this. It's a very beautiful verse. It is coming in the second canto, chapter 9, and then, so it is where this is a very beautiful. So Shri Rupini, Shri Yatra Rupini Urgaya Padayoho Karoti Manam Bahuda Vibhuti Prenkam Sitaya Kusumaguranu Vigiyamana Prekarma Gayati. So the goddess of fortune in her transcendental form is engaged in loving service of the Lord's lotus feet, and being moved by the black bees, followers of spring, she is not only engaged in variegated pleasure, service to the Lord, along with her constant companions, but is also engaged in singing the glories of the Lord's activities. So you see, being moved by the black bees. So this is also very beautifully said. And not only here, and also she is always trying to get the glance of the Lord by doing her different kinds of activities in the Vaikunta. So that is the goddess of fortune. But still, Shri Rupani Kwanayati Charanaravindam Elamudena Harisadmani Mukta Samlakshate Spatika Kudhyavu संलक्ष्यते स्फटिककुड्य उपेते हेम्नि सम्मार्जति वयद्दनग्रहणे अन्ययत्नः. She is trying to do different kinds of activities to get a glance of the Lord. Even though everything is gold and jewels and everything is there, there is no dust, but she is trying to very gently and having one lotus flower in the hand and trying to appearing like a cleansing the walls. So that is the glories of the goddess of fortune. For what? Just to get the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what about his mood? Na shrihi virktimipham vijahati yasyaha prekshalavadhetere niman vahanti. But the Lord, he is not interested. Na shrihi virktimipham vijahati yasyaha. He is not interested. And but a goddess of fortune, prekshalavadhetere niman vahanti. So many people, they come to goddess of fortune to get her blessings or her mercy, but Lord is not interested in it. So this is once again the Lord, he himself says directly to the Kumaras when the Kumaras went to Vaikunta at the time, he was glorifying the Brahmanas. So Lord says that I always worship the lotus feet of the Brahmanas. He said at the time, even though I'm not interested in the Lakshmi, and still Lakshmi is always serving me. So he glorifies one side Brahmanas, and also he is mentioning these statements. So that is, the Lord is not interested, but still everyone are trying to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is here service to the Lord along with her constant companions, but is also engaged in singing the glories of the Lord's activities. That is always goddess of fortune. And here, okay, let us see the purport, what Prabhupada is mentioning here. And the personality of Godhead or the Parameshwara Parabrahman, according to the Shrutis, has nothing to do. He has no equal, nor does anyone excel him. So all his Parasaktir Vividayu Shuruyate, Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. So the Lord has he has nothing to do anything here, but all his energies carry out all his whatever the Lord wills. And he has unlimited potencies. His every action is carried out systematically in his natural and perfect ways. The Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead is full in himself. It is Aishwarya Vairagya Yasho Avbodha Virya Shriya Purtam Aham Prapadhe. This is Kapila Bhagavan when the Kadma Prajapati is offering. He says to the 6 opulence, Aishwarya Vairagya Yasho Avbodha Virya Shriya Aham Prapadhe. And he has nothing to accept from anyone else. He is complete. Atma Ramam Purnakamam Nijalabeda Nichada. If anyone renders little bit of service, it is benefit to them. But Lord has nothing to receive anything from anyone else, including the great demigods like Brahma. Others ask for the favor of the goddess of fortune. And the god, despite such prayers, she declines to award such favors. But still, she renders service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is how Shri Rupanyatra Uragaya Padayoho. He is always at the lotus feet of the Lord. Although he has nothing to accept from her, the personality of Godhead, in his Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu feature, begets Brahma, the first created person in the material world, from his navel lotus stem and not in the womb of the goddess of fortune, who is eternally engaged in his service. So here Brahma, once again, he is also says that he says, Saham samamnayamaya tapomaya prajapatinam abhivanditah pratihi asta yogam nipunam samahitah tam najagacham yata atma sambhavaha. O Narada, even though I am the greatest of all the tapasvis and I am the great of the prajapatis, I am the worshipable to all these, even though always I am engaged in the penances, but I cannot understand the supreme personality of Godhead, from whose navel I have emanated from. So that Brahma confirms to Narada Muni in these statements. So who is eternally engaged in his service? That is the glories of the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, he is the it is mentions that Narayana Narayanosti nahi sarvadehinam Atmasyadisha akilaloka sakshi Narayanangam narbojalayanan Tasyapi satchim natavaiva maya. O my dear Lord Krishna, so is the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu from whose navel I have come, that Narayana, is he your Amsha of Amsha? So he also mentions when he was, so that is Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu is the expansion of Krishna. It is mentioned by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that is glories of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. But Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu's form, it is so beautifully, it is in the Garbhodaka waters. It is Mrunala Gauraya Shesha Bhoga Paryanka Ekam Purusham Sayanam Panata Patrayatna Mudharatna Jupihi Atadbhanta Yuganta Toye. And there is no one else, only Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu is there in the Karnodaka ocean. And this Adishesha is with his all his coats, he is spread on top of the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. His body is very huge, occupying all the 3 planetary systems. And there, even these Adisheshas, these crowns, they are also going into the water, coming up, and due to the waves of the water. And Narayana is on top of that Adishesha. See how beautiful it is. Kirita Sahasri Hirinya Shrungam Avirbhavat Kaustabaratna Garbham. So that is that inside the water, the Lord is floating on the Garbhodaka waters on the bed of Sheshasai. And here Brahma also says in his prayers, as soon as he has come out from the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, he is Yova aham cha girishasya vibhu swayam cha siti uddhva pralaya hetava atma moolam bhitva tripad bhuruda eka purutrohaha tasmai namo bhagavate bhuvanadhrumaya. Oh my dear Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, you are Bhuvanadhrumaya. From you there are 3 branches are coming out. One is myself, one is you take yourself as a Vishnu and Lord Shankara. Yova aham cha grisha vibhu swayam cha siti uddhva pralaya hetva siti uddhva pralaya atma moolam. So it is for the maintenance, creation and destruction. So that is very beautifully mentioned by Lord Brahma in his prayers to glorify the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, to get benedictions from him. He is the only person at the time. There is no one to share his Kalpa Vitikarambasa, Vishna Chetasam Tena, Kalpa Vitikarambasa. Due to lots of water has been there and all the words have been sunken in the water. He is the only one meditating. And now there is no one at the time. The Lord is going to speak. So he was offering his prayers to please the Lord, and Lord is going to speak after that. So, and here, even he cannot understand that Lord who is eternally engaged in his service, that is Lord Brahma. And also here there are some of the instances of his complete independence and perfection. That he has nothing to do does not mean that he is impersonal. So Lord is always personal. As long as there is personal, all his activities will go into different levels. Otherwise, without formless, there cannot be any Brahmano hi pratisthaham. Brahmano hi pratisthaham amrutasya avyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukasya cha aikantikasya cha. That is the Krishna says, I am the basis for the impersonal Brahmin. And he further Prabhupada says, he is transcendently so full of inconceivable potencies that simply by his willing, everything is done without physical or personal endeavor. He is called therefore Yogeshwara, or the Lord of all mystic powers. Lord of all mystic powers. Everything goes automatically. Just Lord only think, only willing. Everything will be arranged automatically. So that is beautifully said in this 20th verse. एतावतालं ननुसूचिरेण गुणैरसामान्य अत्सयानस्य हित्वेरतान् प्रद्धितो विभूति अस्याङ्ग्रेणुं जुषते अनभिप्सोः. So likewise, this is being spoken by the Sutta Goswami. So before glorifying further, okay, in the 21st verse is and further he is saying that apart from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who else is qualified to receive such kind of glorifications? So, atap yat pada nakavas prustam jagadvirincho apurtha baha shenam punati sesham punatya anyatamo mukundat konamaloke bhagatpadattah. Konamaloke Bhagavat Padartha Atpadi Yatpada Nakava Sprustam. So here, so the translation, okay, we'll go to the translation once again. Who can be worthy of the name of Supreme Lord but the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna? Brahmaji collected the water emanating from the nails of his feet in order to award it to Lord Shiva as a worshipable welcome. This very water is purifying the whole universe, including Lord Shiva. So this is very beautiful. And also when Prabhupada, in the Vaikuntha, when the Brahmanas are this Chatur Sanaka Sanandana Sanatana, these Kumaras are there. When they were angry at the time when Lord was glorifying about the Brahmanas, he also spoke that I always take dust of the Brahmanas and keep on top of my head. So he also says that, and the Ganges comes from my lotus feet, and that water is always been on top of the Lord Shankara. If Lord Shankara wears this water on top of his head, and I am, who else is negligible about the Brahmanas? And he says like that, Sadyah punati sahachandra lalama lokan. Sadyah punati sahachandra lalama lokan. Vipramsu kona visheta yadarhanam baha. Sadyah punati sahachandra lalama lokan. So he glorifies the Brahmanas at the time. So he also mentions this, Lord Shankara is wearing this water on top of his head for the purification purpose. So here we can understand how the Lord is so merciful, and who can be worthy of the name of the Supreme Lord but the Supreme Personality of God, Shri Krishna. So here I'm glorifying the Brahmaji collected the water emanating from the nails of his feet. The Lord's nails, they are also compared with the Naka Indu, the light emanating from the moon rays. So that is compared, the nails. And also they are also very reddish color. So when these four Kumaras, when they were offering their obeisances to the lotus feet of the Lord, it is mentions like Labdha shashah punaraveksha tadiyamangre dhandvam nakarunamanishrayanam nidajjuhu dhandvam naka aruna manishrayanam nidajjuhu. They're just glowing like a manis, the reddish manis, vaidurias like that. It is dhandvam nakaruna mani shrayanam nidajjuhu. That is the meditation they are doing. Just as soon as they see the lotus feet, that's it. Labdha shashah punaraveksha tadiyamangre, completely in the meditation. That is the his lotus feet in order to award it to Lord Shiva. And anything comes from lotus feet of the Lord is so pure. That is the everyone are taking shelter of lotus feet of the Lord. Okay, so let us see what Prabhupada has given in the purport. So the conception of many gods in the Vedic literatures by the ignorant is completely wrong. The Lord is one without a second, but he expands himself in many ways, and this is confirmed in the Vedas. Such expansions of the Lord are limitless, but some of them are the living entities. This is the living entities are not as powerful as the Lord's plenary expansions, and therefore there are two different types of expansions. So this is also Vishnu Shaktiha para prokta kshetrajñakya tata para avidya karma sanyaya tritiya shaktirishyate. One is the spiritual energy, one is material energy, and the middle, this is a tritiya shakti. It is in between material and spiritual. We can choose as a living entity, we can belong to either spiritual world or the material world. So here, and further Prabhupada mentions Lord Brahma is generally one of the living entities, and Lord Shiva is the medium between the Lord and the living entities. In other words, even demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who are the chief among all demigods, are never equal to or greater than Lord Vishnu. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Goddess of Fortune, Lakshmi Devi, and all powerful demigods like Brahma and Shiva are engaged in the worship of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Therefore, who can be more powerful than Mukunda, Lord Krishna, to be factually called the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So this is very beautifully explained about Brahma and Lord Shiva and all the chief demigods. Krishna mentions Aham Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matta Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajante Ma Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. See, that is the intelligent people. Here, based on that one, Krishna statement, all is Lord Brahma, Vishnu, and these are all intelligent people. Bodha Bhava Samanvita. They are always engaged in the worship of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. And this is mentions, if he is not Krishna or Vishnu's devotee, everyone is a demon. There is no exception. Dhau sargo lokesmin daiva asura evacha. Vishnu bhakta smruto daiva asura tad viparyayaha. Asura tad viparyayaha. Anyone opposite number of Vishnu's devotee, everyone are demoniac. And here we see how glorious this Brahma, Vishnu, Brahma and Lord Shankara and Goddess of Fortune, always engaging in the lotus feet of service of the lotus feet of Krishna. So, and also further Prabhupada is giving the Goddess of Fortune, Lakshmi Devi, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are not independently powerful. They are powerful as expansions of the Supreme Lord, and all of them are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. And so also are the living entities. All these living entities are just to render devotional service to the Lord, and they are not the enjoyers. Bhukta, bhukta, parichakta. Otherwise, I want to eat it, I wanted to enjoy it. We have to live such kind of thing, and then we have to engage ourselves in the devotional service. That is, then only we understand everything. Otherwise, we will be caught by the Maya. Asevayayam prakriter gunanam jnanena vairagya vijrumbitena yogena maya pitaya cha bhaktya mam pratyekatmanam iha varunde. So we have, when we do not serve this material nature and engage in the devotional service with jnana, vairagya, Jnanena vairagya vijrumbitena, with complete detachment and the knowledge. And then yogena mai arpitaya cha bhakta, when we surrender ourselves to Krishna, then mam pratyagatmanam iha varunde, this is one we can directly perceive the transcendental happiness and our association, our swarupena mayopetam pasyan swarajyam ruchyati. When how we experience those pastimes with the Lord, that can be experienced here itself in this material world, before we leave this body. That is mam pratyagatmanam iha varunde. So this is transcendental loving service of the Lord, everything through transcendental loving service of the Lord. So there are 4 sects of the worshipable devotees of the Lord, and chief amongst them are Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya. So we all belong to Brahma Madhva Gaudi Sampradaya. And then Rudra Sampradaya, this is coming from the Vishnu Swami. And Shri Sampradaya, Shri Ramanujacharya, and directly from the Lord, descending from Brahma, and Lord Shiva and Goddess of Fortune. And there is one more from the Kumaras, that is Nimbarkacharya is the Acharya of another line. Besides above mentioned, there is Kumar, this is Kumar Sampradaya descending from Sanat Kumara. All of the 4 original Sampradayas are still scrupulously engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, up to date. And they all declare that Lord Krishna Mukunda is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and no other personality is equal to him or greater than him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is very beautiful purport. And all the pastimes of the Lord, it describes that there is no one equal or above Krishna. Even we see in the pastime of when Krishna was in Brahma Vimohana Leela, that is one thing. And Lord Shankara's pastime when Banasura tried to fight with Krishna. And when Usha, daughter of Banasura, she brought the Krishna's grandchild Aniruddha to Shonitapura. At the time, Banasura requested Lord Shankara and all his help to fight with the Yadu families. At the time, the Yadu side, Krishna, Balarama, and all other Prajumna, everyone are there. And the other side, Banasura and the demigods, Banasura, Lord Shankara, and Kalika Devi, Ganesha, and Subramanya, or Skanda, all demigods at one side. And even the Kali, she was even drinking the blood of the dead bodies to scare. But somewhere or other, in that fight, it is so beautiful fight between Krishna uses Sammohanastra and Lord Shankara, or Sammohan in the sense just yarning weapon, and then Lord Shankara yarns and then he leaves because of that. And then further Krishna chopped off Banasura's all the hands, 1,000 hands, actually leaving only 4 hands. That is after Lord Shankara's request, and then finally he leaves him because he is the devotee of Lord Shankara. Lord Shankara also knows that he is always worshipping Krishna, meditating on Sattvam Shuddham Vasudeva Satyitam Satya Yadite Tatra Puman Apavrutaha Satvechi Tatsvin Bhagavan Vasudevo Yadite Manaso Hedokchajo me manasa vidiyate. So Lord Shankara says these words to Sati, how he was in the complete deep absorption in meditation of Krishna. Sattvam Shuddham Vasudeva Satyitam Yadite Tatra Puman Apavritaha Satvechi Tasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo. What is Bhagavan Vasudevo? Vasudeva is Shantam Bhagavataha Padam Yadahu Vasudevakyam Chittam Tad Mahadatmakam. That is Vasudeva. Chittam Tad Mahadatmakam, the pure spirit which is within this Mahatattva, that is called Vasudeva in the form of creation. And Vasudeva as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. And also Vasudeva is expansion of Krishna in the Goloka and also in the Vaikuntha planets. Vasudeva, Sankrishna, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. So here Vasudeva it is Lord Shankara is always meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. So that is beautifully explained by Srila Prabhupada, how all is Brahma, Lord Shankara and Lord Shankara and Goddess of Fortune, they engage in the loving service of the Lord. So that is from these verses. Atap yatpada nakavas prustam jagad virincho upruhtarhanambaha shesham punatyan anyatamo mukundat konama loke bhagat padartaha. So very beautiful verses to glorify the Lord's pastimes here by Sutta Goswami. So I stop here. So we are already with 8:45 now. So I'll stop here. So I request dear devotees, if you have got any comments or any corrections or any additions or any questions, kindly share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Wonderful class, Prabhuji. What an amazing class. Thank you so much for facilitating our session today. Hare Krishna. You explained everything so nicely. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so no questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are very fortunate to have your association. Thank you very much. Always you're enlightening us with the wonderful knowledge, with your, Pandit. So nice, so nice. We are very fortunate. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, Mataji. So Prabhupada.
Yeah, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for facilitating this evening's class at such a short notice. Thank you so much. Thank you Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji, for
Krishna.
this
Thank
Krishna,
you,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
everyone.
Hare Krishna.